What's good, y'all? Let me talk to you guys for a second. I want to firsthand apologize for my absence on Surface Town. Like, this has been so much going on with Hurricane Matthew and midterms, and guys, I can't. I gotta pass all my classes, so just bear with me, you guys. We're gonna catch up on these Atlanta reviews. I think we're gonna do episodes 6, 7, and 8. I want to go ahead and knock these out because I don't want to when I say I'm gonna do something, I plan on doing it. So I want to stay committed. So we're gonna go ahead and do these Atlanta reviews. Let me just tell you, this show, it tackles on more social issues than I thought. You know what I mean? And Donald Glover does it in such a way that you get it. You know what I mean? Like, he does it in where anybody could understand. Like, I got some. My camera's been acting crazy, so I've been using my phone lately because it's just ugh. But anyways, we're gonna hop right into it. This is the Atlanta review. We're gonna start out. Episode 6 was focusing on Vanessa. She was going to get a drug test. Oh, mind you, no. Let me rewind. Okay, so she's out with her friends, right? She's hanging with her friends, and they end up smoking weed, right? So then she realizes the next morning she has a drug test for her job. And so she tries to contact Paperboy to get some help. He says something about he knows this guy that tapes pee to his leg with a condom. So what Vanessa goes and does, she tries to make some type of creation, takes the baby's diapers. This was so nasty, by the way. This was nasty. I couldn't even it was funny, but I couldn't even laugh. I'm like, who does this? She was cutting the diaper open, right, and draining it to get the pee from the baby's diapers. It was, and then she boils it or something. Like, I was like, what the? Who does? People actually do that. People actually do that. I'm not judging you, but I'm just saying, I would go get the pouch that they have before I would. Okay. But anyways, so she gets there, right, to do her drug test. She finally gets enough urine to do that, but she busts it in the bathroom and it goes all over her. I'm like, what in the world? So she fails the drug test, of course, and then she goes into her boss. She was like, I smoked weed. I was like, oh my goodness. And then, but her boss was like, everybody smokes weed. We just do that for the first time to keep people on their toes. But since you just admitted it to me, now I have to fire you. I was like, so that was episode 6. I was like, oh my God, it was funny. I guess you got more on Vanessa's character. But we go into episode 7. Episode 7 is Paperboy is having a late night interview, and they're basically talking about how he has an influence on people and how he's negative, and there's this white woman there. And then throughout the episode they have little spoof commercials about things. Oh my God, those commercials were freaking hilarious. The one about the Swishers was freaking hilarious. It was just funny. I can't remember all of them, but I know this dude was driving in a Dodge Charger, something like that. But yeah, basically in that episode they were talking about how people view Paperboy and how Paperboy said he's just talking about real stuff in real life, and then the host was trying to be negative towards him and make him look bad. When the girl sitting next to him, she was like, yeah, I totally understand. At first she was acting crazy, but then she was like, I understand. And then the host was like, because it was 2 against 1, but that was crazy. So that was episode 7, basically. And episode 8, which aired on Tuesday, was Paperboy, Darius. We finally see Darius. I was like, where's Darius at? But okay, so we finally get Darius. They're in a nightclub. Paperboy, Earn, and Darius are in a nightclub to make an appearance, right? So they're getting paid to make an appearance. So at a certain point, Earn wants to leave, right? So he goes and finds the promoter so he can get his money. The promoter is dodging him the whole time throughout the club, keeps disappearing and whatnot. So just when he catches up with him again, he disappears on this wall, right? Like, there, Ern looks this way, and the dude goes inside the wall. He looks back, and he's like, "What the?" So the bartender, he starts having this conversation with the bartender, basically talking about, he doesn't even like being in clubs and stuff like that. And she was like, "Well, you're no different from anybody else. Don't try to make yourself special. Everybody that's at the club, deep down inside, wants to be there." So, it was basically like you almost got a feel for how people in clubs put on like a mask almost, because you go to a club, majority of the people you don't know, so it's like you put on anybody in an environment where they don't know, they put on a mask to try to protect themselves. So you're filled with people that aren't really acting themselves, and drugs are involved, and it's just, when you think about it, it's not really a good environment. That's why I don't party, really. I don't party, I don't go to clubs. I went to a club a couple times, and I just felt out of place. Like, I just didn't feel, I had an okay time, I guess. I was with my friends, thank God. But it's not my scene. And that it's like that for a lot of people. Like, when you go to a club, it's like you almost have to be something you're not. It's just, I don't know, it's just not my thing. But you just kind of got that, like, when you start to really look at everybody and they're partying, they're drinking, they're turning up and acting like they have, that they just balling, buying bottles. It's just, for what? You know what I mean? So basically, after their conversation, she lets him know that the fire extinguisher, what was it? The fire thing? I can't think right now. But pulled the fire alarm. So the fire alarm was like a knob, I guess, and it activated the door. And so he goes back there, right? And he finally gets to the promoter. The promoter's like, Ern's like, "Where's my 5,000?" Mind you, Ern throws up. I was like, he could have warned, it just came out. I was like, he could have warned me before he did all that. But, yeah, so he was like, $5,000? You mean your $750? He was like, no, my $5,000. And he was like, you know what it costs to run a club? Let me give you the expenses. So he started writing down flyers and that Paperboy need a bodyguard, something like that. Meanwhile, Paperboy buying bottles and just he just doing the most. And he meets this girl, and they're just like in his VIP section, because there was an other dude in the club that had everybody popping. He had all the bottles. He was just making a big scene. Paperboy was kind of like blowed about that, so he just started buying bottles. So he had to pay for that. And so he was like, "Here's your $750, and I'm being nice." Ern was just like, So I guess the dude that was doing the most buys all the bottles. So there was no drinks left. And so the club, I guess, had to close then. And Ern comes back. Paperboy is like, "Let's go before I punch somebody. You get our money?" He was like, "Man, I only got $750, man. Like, I'm not like you. I can't scare people." That was funny. But, so they go out. No. He was like, "We're gonna get our money." So Paperboy goes in to where the promoter was. Sorry, beating. He's like, "Do I look like I take checks?" He slapped him with the money. I was like, oh. That was so funny. So they got their money. Thank God. I was like, oh my God. They need that money. Like, they need that money. Meanwhile, I forgot to mention that Darius had to leave because he left the VIP, right? Tried to come back. The security guard started acting weird, talking about, "Oh, you need a wristband to get in here, such and such." And he was like, you just saw me come in there. Darius's character is like, I don't know. He does, like, no matter what situation he's in, he doesn't let it affect his mood almost. Paperboy calls Darius. Darius is at home playing video games. He's playing some gorilla. What game? What? He was playing some gorilla game. The gorilla was running around. I was like, what in the world? But I think everybody has a Darius. I said that before, but I gotta say that again. But anyway, so what happens after that? Okay, so they're in the parking lot, right? And then they start shooting. That was funny. They start shooting in the parking lot. So Paperboy and Earn had to get out of there. They go to Waffle House, and I guess with Darius. And on the TV, it says that there was a shooting at a nightclub, and that Paperboy had something to do with it. So now they caught up in some more mess. They're like why, like who will report that on the news? I guess the promoter may have something to do with that. I don't know, but hey. But yeah, I just caught you guys up on episode 6, 7, and 8. Like, what? I'm the ish. But anyways, you know, I really like Atlanta. This show is like very dope. I was already a fan of Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, whatever you want to call it. He definitely should come out with an album after this show. I think there's only 2 episodes left. So after this show wraps up, we're going to be expecting an album, Because the Internet 2, or Atlanta the album, something. Like, come on now. But yeah, this show, it opens your mind, and it talks about social issues that's really going on. Oh yeah! Okay, so one of the commercials in episode 7 was like kind of like a Tricks spoof. Silly Rabbit, Tricks are for kids, but whatever. But it was like a Cocoa Puffs kind of thing. And it was like a black wolf and black kids, and the wolf was chasing the kids for the Cocoa Puffs, and then a white cop had came and like tried to stop the wolf and started talking about don't resist, like arresting the wolf, and the kids was like, why are you arresting him? He's like, he can't have the cereal, it's for kids. The kids was like, man, we don't even want the cereal, like that here has some. So it was basically like talking about how, you know, police brutality and stuff is, you know, it was just kind of like showing that. And that in Atlanta did that, Empire just did that. So they're really like making it known like this is a problem, and it's pretty cool that they're putting it, you know, out there in some of the major shows that are on, because it is a problem, you know what I mean? So I really respect Donald for doing that, for being conscious of what's going on and kind of doing it in a way that, you know, people can relate to it. So yeah, you guys, if you're not watching Atlanta, I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, I'm Rick. This is Surface Town. You can subscribe like right now. And you know, we're gonna be doing some more things. Halloween's coming up. I wonder what we're gonna do for that. But yeah, I see you guys later. You just watch Surface Town.